Yep, so we haven't done this before, but we're introducing a new segment onto the show.
Yay! We've actually only got 2 mics, so he's got one of them, so we got to share one.
We've got our friend here, Alexis. Say hello.
Good morning.
He's a bit shy.
Go focus.
He's not shy anymore.
So, what's your segment called? Do you have a name for the segment?
Well, Mark suggested to do it Moises Movies.
He's a genius who came up with that. I love that.
I think his parents gave him that name. Who invited you? What are you doing here?
I don't know. I just bumped into you to find you in the street. Felt sorry for you.
He adopted us. No, we adopted him. That's more
I
like
think you're
it.
too immature to adopt people.
A bit harsh.
Yes,
Well,
it is.
tell us a bit about yourself, Moises.
I'm not really a teenager, but like most people, it's just games and movies.
So these are your passions.
Games, movies, watching soccer, swimming, watching most sports really, except Australian sports.
Except
For
Australian.
some reason
Anything but
they-
Australian sports. Thanks.
But then, if you want to be pretentious, I also read philosophy.
Too smart, no.
All right,
What's philosophy?
fine, let's scrap that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
just
continue. I don't
movies
care.
and games.
Movies and games.
And
yeah.
a lot of
You
reading
like
from different
philosophy.
topics.
You like history as well, don't you?
Yes, ancient
Roman
history, yeah.
Yeah, Greek
Orgies
history.
and all that, you know.
Orgies, yeah. Or you like reading about it.
And playing soccer, yeah.
Yeah, okay. And you're a big movie buff, aren't you?
Well, you could say that. I love watching
You
films.
love watching films. Any film you like watching.
Except teenage films.
Except teenage film. Oh, I think I'm
That-
going to have to make an exception to that exception.
I'm sorry, but Scott can do that. I backs not.
You can't bag. What about Superbad and like?
I saw the trailer and no, thank you. That's not for me. You will have to pay me to.
Mm-mm.
And one thing we can be sure of here is that I will never review a Twilight film.
But you have seen a Twilight film, haven't you?
Yes.
Oh, good call. Lawyered up. So what's new then? What did you see recently? What
Oh,
can you
well,
tell
this is
us?
something that I've seen in the US. The film is called 127 Hours, and it is directed by Danny Boyle. If you know the guy, he's the guy who directed Slumdog Millionaire, which I consider to be a very overrated film.
Oh.
Personally, I
He
consider
did
that.
Trainspotting as well, didn't he?
Yes, I think that was one of his very first.
Any of those movies, but I watched Top Gear and he was on there, and he did he did a rundown of all his film career. And
Really?
yeah.
And you haven't seen
I
shit?
just haven't
Oh,
seen. You could call me a film illiterate
that's good to hear.
Yeah.
Then what the fuck are we doing here?
because you're trying to educate me.
You're beyond. You can't be educated anymore. How old are you again?
Oh, thanks.
This is going well. When are we going to start talking about the movie?
The movie, yes, that movie, 127 Hours. Well, it won't be released until actually February next month. It's a very, very inspiring film, despite the graphic nature of it. So the film is about a climber. It's based on his autobiography, Aaron Ralston. Well, he's famous for basically being an idiot. Well, so this guy one day decides to, just go out on a hike, basically, around the Rocky Mountains, right? He's very up himself and, well, he doesn't tell anyone about it, right? On the way there, he meets 2 lovely ladies. They go for a swim. Yep, it's all good. Then he starts being an idiot, really. Yes, and an accident happens. He gets stuck in a boulder. He's inside a canyon. His arm gets stuck.
Yeah.
And basically, as the title suggests, he's stuck for 127 hours.
Yeah.
It's pretty painful. The film is really just about him trying to escape and the extent he goes to actually free himself.
I suppose he exhausts all possible methods of escape before he finally contemplates.
He actually never contemplates death. So basically at the end, after 127 hours of drinking his own piss, doing whatever he can to survive,
Yum.
he finally contemplates chopping his arm.
Nice. And you see this all in the film?
You
Drinking
see
his
everything
own
in the film.
urine.
The actual severing of the arm is not really shown explicitly, but the sounds make it all the more horrifying.
Oh.
It will probably give people nightmares. But at the end, I think it's really inspiring in the sense that, let's say you were a loser watching the film. Now, if this guy could drink his own piss, sever his own arm, walk out of the canyon 5 miles, right? If he can do all this, then anybody can fix his life. If you
And
get
your,
what I mean.
your life needs a lot of fixing?
I remember you said you were watching this film, right? And there was this guy sitting next to you.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
basically said, man, if this guy can do all this, then I can pass college.
Is this someone we know?
So wait, I got a little discrepancies I got to pick with you. You said he was playing with 2 chicks.
Yes, that is basically a prologue before the main plot line carries on.
Before the antagonist, the boulder.
The boy.
Ooh, I hate that boulder.
That damn boulder. So they just bailed on him, or they just ditched him or something?
Oh, no,
or?
no. He had his fun with them, and he left to do his own crap. And it was then when he actually got stuck. He didn't bother to tell anyone. So he screams out, "Who's there? There's no one within the
Right.
within what do you call it,
Tree
10-mile radius vicinity."
Yeah, tree falls in the woods.
So it's not just a one-man show. He actually hallucinates and remembers periods. He remembers events from his life. It starts to,
Oh, so it's like life flashing before his eyes.
yes,
kind of
basically,
thing. Right.
trying to find redemption in anything, in anyone he has fucked
Making his
over. Yeah,
peace.
making his peace with whatever is up there, God, the cosmos, whatever you can call it. But he never really, despite all the ordeal, he never really gives up, and that is what I personally find really inspiring.
Can I ask a question? Did they actually go back and try and find that arm?
The arm, yes. Of
They-
course, I think they're not going to stitch it
No,
back.
but they found it?
I recently read an article. I think they found it, but because he had run off and everything,
Yeah.
they couldn't stitch it back.
Of course, like
Yeah.
it would have been infected with all. Like if he had to walk 5 miles, that's yeah,
It needs to be on ice or something.
yeah, dude. And animals and like things would have probably attacked.
Well,
it,
personally,
yeah.
by the entire sequence where he starts chopping his arm, basically he does it with a very
He uses a spoon. He uses a spoon,
yes, a spoon, because it will hurt more, right? Rather than a knife.
a digging utensil.
It's dull.
So it was like a dull knife that he used. or
Yes, and it's just the way Danny Boyle put together the whole sequence. It just, it basically makes like Passion of the Christ seem very tame.
You know, I read an article.
I mean, because let's face it, Passion of the Christ is a fiction story, right? It's actually happened.
that is another
Here we go.
can of worms, friend. That's another segment. We will do that kind of bashing later. All right. But what I was saying is, I read an article like because when this occurred, this was a few years ago, like 5 or 6 years ago.
Yes,
when this
it was.
occurred.
Yep.
So I read an article about like when he was actually severing his arm off. Right. It wasn't pain that he was feeling. He said he was feeling relief when he had finally severed the last tendon and bone. Because
You could see the relief in his face. At the same time, I think he was way past the pain barrier.
yeah, because he'd been stuck there for what? Yeah, 127 hours.
127 hours, as the
How,
title
translate that.
implies.
That's like how many
You did
days
the
is
math.
that?
Some
Carry the one.
5 and a
Yeah.
bit days.
God, man versus wild stuff. You know.
yeah, Jackass really for
Oh, that's exactly what this movie is like.
yeah, pretty
Danny
much.
Boyle knows how to make movies.
Yeah, if you like Jackass 3D, I do recommend this film.
Is this available in 3D?
That's a good no. I'm so
Oh,
sorry to disappoint you.
As the arm comes out at you,
yep.
it doesn't.
Shards in your eyes.
Just as he loses the arm, it does that Terminator thing.
Oh, God.
This was a very hard-hitting movie for you, then, right? You felt.
It was just like watching Cinderella. It was happy, everyone, and they live happily ever after.
I don't remember Cinderella being amputated at the same time.
Where her,
Disney version.
In his version.
yeah.
it was very exhausting as well, basically having to, and it's only around I think 100 minutes. It's not that long.
Really? So it's a short movie.
Yes.
So would you say this is the kind of movie you'd pay to watch again, or would you probably?
No, actually, this is something that basically you need time to digest. So yeah, once is enough for the year. Maybe in the future I will revisit it.
Let me ask you another question. Was there any nudity in it? Or sex scenes?
Why?
That's an important question.
Why? Else you need nudity in your films? Is that it?
Well, dude, I'm not just asking for my own benefit. I'm asking for the audience as well. We need to make sure that they get their money's worth.
No, Mark. For you, there's
All right.
none. I'm sorry to disappoint you.
And is this a film you would take someone on a first date?
Depends on the date. It really depends on the date.
Oh, really?
Yes. What does she want to see? Does she want to see something like
Twilight?
Twilight, or she's into basically Antichrist.
Antichrist?
And this is not torture porn, guys. Okay.
So you wouldn't take someone like Heather Mills to watch this.
Oh god.
By all means,
you
I recommend.
suck, dude. You suck.
Which Heather Mills?
Really, I'm not gonna explain it. Bag's not.
Lame.
Who's
Lame.
Wait, who's Heather Mills?
Lame. Get it? You know who Paul McCartney is?
Yes.
Do you know who the Beatles are? Oh, okay, so you
Oh,
know.
yes, I did know that.
Okay, so do you know the
My knowledge of music does extend that far.
a little bit, right?
Yeah.
So do you know who his wife was?
No, that was Heather Mills.
Yes, and she was an amputee.
I got a question about the movie. So, he was stuck in the boulder in between like boulders or whatever for 127 hours. How did he keep himself occupied? Did he have a DS or something?
Are you being an idiot?
Well, it'll be the last time you'll ever play a DS.
You can still play it one-handed.
Yes, he played. What was he playing? Ace Attorney or something? Is that what? He knows that he's stuck there. There's no one within a 10-mile radius. I think all his energy, everything was devoted just to escaping. The movie film shows that. It shows every possible scenario.
Was there any kind of like supporting roles? Any kind of like?
As I said, there were flashbacks, apart from
Flashbacks,
the
right.
couple of girls at the beginning that he found when they went hiking.
Was there
No.
nudity in that part? No.
He didn't answer the question,
I won't.
did he? He didn't
I
answer
won't
the
reveal
question.
that. That's for you to see. When you,
Yeah, it's a good way of selling the movie, really. Isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I will say they're hot.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So, who played the main actor again? Who's the guy who played it?
Green Goblin.
Ah, yeah,
Green Goblin.
James Franco. Yeah, the Green Goblin from the Spider-Man. He was
Wasn't William Dafoe the Green
son of Green Goblin.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Yeah.
He was in Pineapple Express, like one of the stoners.
Even I know more about films than this guy.
I know. So
Oh,
you're
shut
so
up, man.
cultured. You're so cultured.
Yes,
Who's
because your knowledge of films that defines how cultured you are. Is that it?
Yeah.
Twilight,
That's Scott's thing.
date movie,
Thank you.
Scary Movie 5 or whatever.
Not another teen movie.
If you've seen another teen movie, does that mean you are culture?
That's the pinnacle, isn't it?
That's the pinnacle. So
You know,
all these Oscar-winning films, what are they then?
What's an Oscar?
Flops. What's an
Who's
Oscar?
Oscar?
The only barometer I use is the Teen Choice Awards.
The Teen Choice Award. How old are you again? 27?
Hey, back to the movie. Like when this event actually occurred, and he was making all the news and stuff like that. He
Yeah.
was, telling his story to everyone. Like, didn't a lot of other people unnecessarily get into kind of similar situations and amputated their arms and stuff like that?
Well, I have never read anything about that, but
He
if
sparked
they
a wave
did,
of copycats.
Yeah, there were
but
a lot
if they
of
did,
copycats.
those people deserve to die for being idiots.
Ladies and gentlemen, we bring you Alexis.
Yes, I will truly be an idiot. Go get my arms stuck, drink my own piss, and tastes nice.
Just for the experience.
The experience, yes. I think he still hikes, but nowadays he always has someone with him, just in case shit happens again. He had to lose an arm in order to learn his lesson.
Ouch. That's an expensive lesson.
Well, we can all learn from that. Not by doing what you did.
Let me try.
Well, there are a lot of monkey see, monkey do.
Monkey see. You would like that, wouldn't you, Scott?
I do like monkeys.
So how would you rate this film overall?
Out of 5 stars, probably 4.5.
4.5.
Yes.
You're not the type of person who awards stars very easily, are you?
No.
So it goes
Okay,
from both
basically,
ends of the
well, I
spectrum.
have a barometer, or a range, if you will, where 5 stars are probably The Godfather, Schindler's List, and 0 stars are films like Twilight.
You can't give Twilight 0 stars, can
Have you seen Twilight?
No, I haven't.
Then shut up, all right?
Twilight, Scott. You have seen Twilight.
Oh, well, here from under the bus, I'd like to say that I haven't actually seen Twilight. But everyone says I have, so I guess I might as well say I have. Mm-hmm.
But this film, yes, I will give it 4.5. I will really recommend it if you can stomach some of those scenes which I previously described.
Right, thanks for joining us, Alexis. We look forward to having you on this segment again.
Yep, looking forward to it.
Well, I guess that pretty much wraps up another episode of another Misadventure of McScott.
Well, thanks for listening, guys. We
Thank
really
you.
appreciate you guys tuning in as always. You know, your feedback is always most welcome.
Mhm.
Leave comments on our YouTube channel.
All right, yeah, thanks for sticking around.
Over and out.